expended actually increases with the accuracy. But the same thing, if I put if 923, if I write a C program in which I say if 923 by 21 is greater than 1.75, do this, the computer computes 923 by 21 as a floating point computation, which is extremely time consuming and power consuming. It comes out with the answer, it compares it and then gives an answer. So can I now bring in approximate computing? If I am going to bring approximate computing, that is where I can go and make the computer match the brain. And if I am able to match the computer with how the brain works, then it's basically that's where I can save the power and I can make the machine more and more intelligent. So I can't run an intelligent machine with a nuclear power station, right? Giving it million watts of power. So this is where the real things come. Now how approximate is brain, our human brain? Now I have another debate here. I will request the person who is looking at WhatsApp to please read this for me. Read it. Give him a mic, please.
According to research at Cambridge University, it doesn't matter in what order the letters in a word are. The only important thing is that the first and last letter be in the right place. The rest can be a total mess and you can still read it without problem. This is because the human mind does not read every letter by itself, but the word as a whole.
Okay, give him a clap. Okay, so this is another proof that the brain is absolutely approximate. It doesn't read the sentence, so it just sees the last two alphabets and makes a lot of sense with the jumble. Do you mean to say it does according? So how many people are mathematics here? Mathematicians, computer scientists? Can you tell me according how many words I could get between OCC, DR, NI? How many permutations can I get? Huge is a very, you are talking like our somebody AI prediction. Can you tell me exact number? OCC, DR, NI, 7. 7 factorial by 2 factorial because C repeats, right? So, okay. So that's a. Do you mean to say the brain actually does all this computing and get this according word? No. And he has finished this in half a minute. He didn't even stumble. The first few words he took a little larger time, but as he started going down, he's actually read it very fast as if you're reading it. Right? Did you notice that? Right? So your brain gets quickly adapted to spelling mistakes too. Right? So this is where the approximation comes. Now let me do some level of marketing for IIT Madras. So what we have done here, so there is two ways by which computing happens today. One is called analog computing, which is the electrical engineering funda, and digital computing, which is sort of pseudo computer science funda, right? So what is analog computing? If I treat the line as a continuous entity, just as a line, this is analog, right? I don't see any, but if I am going to treat the line as a collection of points or a sequence of points, then it becomes digital, right? So when I view a line as those blue dots, right, then it is digital. But when I view a line as a line, it's an analog computing. Now, the closer these blue points are, I get very close approximation to my continuous line. If my blue dots are much closer or finer to each other, then I get very close to analog. And this is the big field of digital signal processing, where you do an analog to digital conversion and do a lot of work. We have some research that we have done based on oscillators, etc., where if I am going to handle a problem like sorting, right, for example, as an analog problem, I could get something like 15 times less power than an equivalent digital problem with 1500 times reduction in area, right? So my brain is just inside. The IBM Watson was 2 big halls of this in the Jeopardy that I said, right? So there is a big area and a big power consumption, while I have a very small area and minuscule. So one of my big claim here is that brain is still analog, it is not digital. And today when we start modeling things in artificial intelligence today, this is all you talk about big data and all these things, this is still very much in the digital field. If I am able to bring in artificial intelligence concept by doing analog computing, right, I may match the human brain, right? This is my conjecture, and I am trying to work on this. This is my very passionate area of research. But we did have a very interesting paper just got published last month on how modeling certain problems like sorting a sequence, etc., as an analog problem gives a very much less reduction in power, very large reduction in power and a large reduction in area, right? So today's effort, so coming back to the context, today's effort about artificial intelligence is all about digital computing. And if that's the case, again, can we make a machine that will replace a human is a big question that we need to answer. So this is a summary. So I believe human brain is a lot more analog than digital for the reasons I've stated. All artificial intelligence driven automation in past, present, and also a reasonably for future are digital. So AI based machine replacing human is very far again. So why are we worried about AI? So this is another question that I want to put in part. Yes, question.
Just to start off the debate.
Yes, please give a mic. Please introduce yourselves.
Krishnan, I go by JK, so I'm referred to charter member of TIDE.
Okay.
The artificial intelligence that is processed by a machine could be superior to the natural intelligence that many of us possess. Therefore, even though I'm blessed with natural intelligence of all people are not the same. I may have only that amount of intelligence for me to do routine jobs. I can handle no ambiguity. If there is ambiguity in the job I do, I may go to my manager and it is not in my purview. So I am blessed with natural intelligence that is limited, and the artificial intelligence that can be incorporated in a machine can be far superior, and therefore I am under threat. The assumption that therefore I can do better jobs is not valid, because I may have no natural intelligence to do those. And therefore this worry whether...
Okay. Right. So you said the first statement that the natural intelligence you possess is inferior to the artificial intelligence that the machine possesses. Because the reason you said was, if there is an ambiguity, you have to go to your manager, but the machine will not go anywhere. I am again telling you that the machine cannot handle ambiguity at all.
No, I'm coming to myself.
That's what. So if
I have no opportunity to do a better job. See, the thing is, you said even though I may be replaced by a machine.
No, that is the second part of your question. Even coming to here, as a machine with digital electronics today, I cannot handle. See, the computer programming language is a completely unambiguous language, right? A system today cannot handle ambiguity at all.
Actually, sorry to interrupt. My name is Balasubramanian. We are talking about ambiguity.
Yes.
See, in the legal area also,
Yes.
there are so many judgments passed at the lower court,
Yes.
which is appealed at the Supreme Court,
Yes.
and those judgments has been reversed.
Yes.
Because of the ambiguity judge had, and his perspective.
Not necessarily ambiguity, but anyway.
Yeah, his perspective is interpretation,
Right.
because interpretation comes because of the ambiguity.
Sure.
So it has been challenged in the higher courts, and it has been.
Exactly.
Now that is number one. Number two, coming to the rules.
Ah.
There is no rule which is static. Rules, even GST recently, getting modified again.
Sure.
Just within a year.
Yes.
So which means that it's not that machine cannot handle ambiguity.
Yeah.
Probably maturity level is different.
Okay.
But ambiguity still it can handle.
So how is your example actually related to machine at all?
That's what I'm coming to. For instance, that is the reason I took the legal example, which sometime back you were talking about.
Yes, exactly.
Right? So machine can also be doing its job, reading the law book. For instance, in US, everything goes by book. If you do this actions, you are penalized. You don't see that whether human values all those things. If you get into a car crash, the car is on the other side of the line. Even though it is not your mistake, you will be penalized. Correct?
Okay.
Correct. That is a rudimentary rules kind of thing.
But
Can that be handled by the machine?
There is no intelligence here. It's just the data and interpretation of data.
Yeah, that is one level.
Right.
And
So what is ambiguity here?
Yeah, there is no ambiguity. That's what I mean.
Sure.
Coming to ambiguity, there is a lot of data available, and even humans is not able to completely come to the terms with ambiguity. That is the reason why it is challenged and the cases are challenged and one is the Supreme Court.
Correct.
So which means that humans are completely capable of handling all the ambiguities exist in the world, today's world. Which means what I am saying is that machine and man are both not capable of handling complete ambiguity.
Okay.
But judgment, we accept the judgment.
Okay.
Finally, it goes to the Supreme Court. So whatever judge says, finally that there is no, beyond that we cannot go on challenge, or we have to go to international court if it's an international case.
Yes.
Or else the work stops there.
Yes.
There is an option, we will go and do amendments of the rules if it is a politician, ruling party.
Sure.
Or something is going to happen.
Sure.
The same thing will come to the machine also. If machine becomes a judge. If it is a Supreme Court judge, it says that buck stops there. If it is a lower court judge, higher court judge, somebody is a human. Again, it could be challenged and it could be changed.
So why are we worried about AI now?
The worry is that what if even the ambiguous part is taken over by the judge?
Oh,
Machines.
so now you say if AI takes over and you say that the Supreme Court, the Judicial Academy actually appoints a robo as a judge, you are
It's
worried.
possible. That is one of the highlight I'm talking about.
Okay.
So even if the Supreme Court can appoint a judge, robo as a judge,
Yeah.
what are the areas
Okay.
jobs can be?
Okay, so the worry is that if AI comes and you get a stupid AI machine and the government says this is the stupidity you have to live with, how are you going to handle it? This is one point. Another point that he has been raising is that can AI be more intelligent than me? Right? Again, I repeat here, it can be more intelligent than you only if the task is a mundane task where there are a lot of things that there are a lot of if then else will be there. If this is that, do this. If this is that. But it's extremely a rule based system, and that rules are unambiguous. Because today I don't have a programming language which can basically model ambiguity. Right? The way ambiguity is handled today is, oh, this can happen, this should, this can happen, this should. But that is again a deterministic thing. I have to list out all the possible scenarios where the machine can make a decision, whether it is a normal rule based system or artificial machine learning or deep learning. This is the state of the art. I have to basically educate on the